Is this even close to ASMR? Hello my loves, I'm MonMon. Welcome to my channel. Today we will be embarking on a festive themed vintage cooking adventure and we will be making this, an abomination. And I'm not keen. I mean, look at it. This is the recipe for Frosty The Slawman, which is from 1960. It mainly consists of cottage cheese and mayonnaise with cabbage. Yum. This recipe is actually designed more for a party, and because it's just myself and my small family being force-fed this, I am actually halving the recipe because I don't know what to do with 2 full cabbages worth of gelatinous mayonnaise. So I'm going to be making a half recipe, but on my blog, which I will link in the description box below, I will have the entire recipe if you do decide to also subject your loved ones to this monstrosity. The first thing we do before we get started, of course, is aprons on. Let's get started. The recipe calls for 2 medium heads of cabbage. I'm just gonna go obviously with 1, and it should hopefully make about 6 cups of shredded cabbage. So we can grate or finely chop. I'm gonna go with grate. Ready for a great time? No? Okay, that's fine. When I'm rich, I'm gonna buy one of those fancy kitchen aids, and I know they have a grating attachment because I've seen what it can do to a block of cheese. I mean, I've also seen what I can do to a block of cheese. We are adding 3 packets of unflavored gelatin and dissolving it over cold water. So now that I've melted down my bones, I'm going to put everything else in the recipe inside my bigger mixing bowl. I'm now going to add my 1.5 cups of Hellmann's mayonnaise, and yes, you can still buy Hellmann's mayonnaise. So the mayonnaise is in. We are now going to add our salt and our cottage cheese. So I need 1.5 teaspoons of salt. 1, and that's about half. And now in with 680 grams of cottage cheese. And now we've got to fold in 6 cups of cabbage, which has been grated. Can you imagine this were 12 cups? What? Insane. Insane. Is anyone else thinking of that Schitt's Creek episode where they had to fold in the cheese? Just fold it in. It is now time for assembly, and the recipe says that I should pack my mixture into various shapes. They're recommending the container from the cottage cheese. I am going to make it up as I go along. 2 punch bowls, because they've got quite the rounded bottom. They will in the end become my sphere, which will be my head. And then I do have the cottage cheese containers. If I make it like this, this can become the body. And that's gonna be, yeah, that will be fine. It'll be fine. It's not gonna be fine. Okay, that is now in the fridge, and we will let it set and come back when it is ready to form our Slawman.
Much later. One pair of pants later.
So it has been 4.5 hours, and I'm really hoping that our snowman molds have set. I'm gonna go ahead and assemble our creature. Yum. Okay, we have a body. And honestly, if I can even just get a head on this one, let's just see what happens, all right? No. Okay, stay. Just one of these. No, stay. Okay, we have very little snowman definition, but that's probably because of the mold, so it's not the recipe's fault. And now we decorate. We have a capsicum top as a head, or as a hat. Hey guys, it's voiceover MonMon here. So unfortunately my microphone ran out of batteries and I didn't realize. So unfortunately I have lost any audio regarding my reaction. But basically, I mean, it is the most ridiculous thing I've ever made, and the more I looked at it, the funnier it got. I went in with a carrot stick to give it a taste, and it tasted like really salty feet. I think there's just way too much salt in this recipe. I did not like the cottage cheese and mayonnaise texture. It was almost grainy on the palate, and it had almost like a floury texture, and I noticed that the gelatin had also oddly clumped together, so there were just pockets of gelatin, and it just was a bit of a mess. If you like coleslaw, I'm sure this will be fine for you, but for me it was an absolute fail, and he just kept melting. I named him Ed, by the way, after Big Ed from 90 Day Fiancé. Thank you so much for joining me today on another vintage cooking adventure. This one was an interesting one. If you do try to make this recipe, please tag me in any photos or images that you share. I love seeing how you guys recreate these recipes, and every time I get a photo in my inbox, it brings me so much joy. If you'd like all the details, they are in my blog, which you can find in the description box. But I will see you guys very shortly with more festive themed vintage videos. Until then, be kind, be true, be you, and please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and become a part of my little YouTube family. There's plenty of room for everybody. I'll see you guys soon. Bye! Why is everything covered in mayonnaise?